engineer by profession and is actively involved in the field of outdoor adventure for more than 35 years since school days. After completing his basic mountaineering course in 1990, he went into extensive trekking in Western Ghats and then added some pinnacle climbs to his credit. He has conducted Himalayan expeditions like Mount Nan, Mount Chamsher and Lungser Kangri, Mount Samgyal, Rongdo Valley exploration in Ladakh, to name a few. He is currently secretary of the Chakram Hikers, Mulund, with whom he has been associated since 1984. With a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mahesh Kendurkar to share his experiences.
From my team, Chakram Hikers, for giving us this opportunity. Although I am not a very good orator, but I will try to showcase my experience in Rongdo Valley. First of all, why Rongdo Valley and why Eastern Karakoram? So in 2018, in a similar program with Himalayan Club, I was just having casual chat with Divyesh Muni, and he suggested, why don't you try something in Eastern Karakoram? I said, wow, it is exciting. But our team is always having a limitation that 3 weeks duration, Mumbai to Mumbai, and Eastern Karakoram expeditions are a bit longer. He said, no, it's not like that. You have to study, you have to explore, and you have to read and plan. And that remained in my mind, and then our team worked towards it. That is how it all started. Now, where is this Rongdo? So, most of you might have visited Khardungla and Nubra. So when you cross Khardungla, you hit a Khardung village, and then the road goes to Khalsar and then to Dixit Monastery, Undar, etc. Another road goes to Warila, and there is a place called Agyan village, and before around 25 kilometers before Agyan village, there is a tiny village of Rongdo on the other side of Shok river. This is a Shok river. There is a bridge constructed to cross this river at Rongdo village. And earlier expeditions had to travel to Khalsar and the Sati area to cross the river, and then from the other side of the river, then they used to travel to Rongdo. So this is a Rongdo area. This is a map. I don't know whether it is really visible, the resolution problem, but this is the area. This is the map of the Rongdo Valley and the surrounding valleys. Before I talk with my expedition, just 2 minutes about the climbing history or some main prominent expeditions in Rongdo Valley. See, in last 16 years, since 2005, there are around 10 to 12 expeditions happened in this Rongdo area. And some notable climbs or first ascents were made in 2012, 13, 14 and 15. 2012, there was a Canadian expedition led by Joe Seagram who did 4 first ascents. And in 2013, there was a big Indian Air Force expedition by Mr. Sashindran. I am glad and privileged to meet Mr. Sashindran today in this program. That was a big expedition, 6 weeks. They did some major ascents, around 7 ascents. Himalayan Club also did almost 3 expeditions, 2005, 15 and 17. 2018, there was one Estonian expedition, that was a quite serious expedition, and there was a small team of German-British expedition, Keith Goffin, who did the first ascent in this Rongdo village. We established 3 transit camps to reach the base camp. Base camp from Rongdo to base camp, it was almost 26 kilometers of trek in 3 days. And then another 5 kilometers of climb to put to establish advanced base camp, and then we crossed over this Saktokpa Pole at 5915 meter to put a summit camp for Mount Tara, and we did this 3rd ascent of Mount Tara, and then we attempted this Pokto Shaya Peak or Black Pyramid. It was an unsuccessful attempt, but and then we came back. So altitude graph, if you want to see, we started with something like 3,300 meters from Rongdo. For first 3 days, there was a height gain of around 1,400 meters to establish camp at around base camp at around 4,800 meters. Another 600 meters climb to reach advanced base camp, and then Saktokpa Pole camp at 5925 meters. This is the main topography, or you can say the altitude for my expeditions. And before I proceed with the slides, I must give thanks to Divesh for giving us the guidance and support during the planning phase, and remote expeditions in Leh, Mr. Motuk and Ms. Yangru for providing us full logistic support and manpower resources. So this was our team. I happen to be leader. Sudeep Barve was my co-leader with his wife Bhavna, and my friends Parag and Aniket Rahalkar. It was a mixed team with a varied level of experience, and expedition was organized by Chakramakers Mulut. So this was a bridge which I was talking about. This is really a constructed bridge in Romlu, and we crossed this bridge. We reached this beautiful village of Romlu. Romlu is a very tiny village with around 15 to 20 houses, and the people are really cooperative and generous. There is a small school with beautiful and smart kids. And one good thing is there were a lot of awareness about the COVID pandemic and the precautions. One good interesting thing in this village is there is complete tobacco and cigarette ban. So thanks to women initiative in this Romlu village. So this was and the main profession there is farming and rearing of Pashmina goats. There are a lot of Pashmina goats in this area. So this was our first day trek. Our team, we started along with the bank of river Romlu. Immediately we left this river and started our ascent. First day was really tough, around 600 meters of ascent, because there was nothing, no other halt to be taken in between. The path was quite well defined, but at times there were exposed patches and rockfall area. Then we established this camp at place called Stagsma, or in local language it is Chagma also, 3820 meters. Then we proceed further on the next day. This place is called Tipti, and this monastery, there is a small Gompa monastery. This is called Tipti monastery, or some reports say it's Romlu Gompa also. And there are n number of this type of river crossing. The wooden and rock bridges are constructed. So this is that Romlu Gompa. Then we reached a place called Doksa. Doksa is nothing but the shepherd's hut. The villagers from Romlu village, and they come here for with their Pashmina goats during this season, July, August, September. We didn't stop here. We moved ahead to establish our transit camp on one grassy ground, which is at 4330 meter. There is one peak. You can, I think resolution is not very clear. There is one peak behind this cloud that is called Yunchak Tangri, 6080 meter, and this peak is still unclimbed. Then our next destination was a hot spring. There is a hot springs in that area, and our next camp. So this is that hot water spring. It was a freezing cold outside, but the water was really boiling. Then just before the campsite, we had to cross this nasty nala. This nala is called, or stream is called Chum Nangma Nala. We were fortunate to cross it without fixing the rope. And then we established our third transit camp at this hot spring, and this nala is called Chum Nangma Nala. And there is one peak, not exactly given, this peak is called Rockwedge Peak. There was one unfortunate incident here. My friend Parag fell down, and there was a quite sprain and injury in his right knee. Next day morning, pain aggravated, and then Parag and Aniket, both of them decided to return back. So we were left with myself, Sudeep and Bhavna, and we continued. So when we looked back, when we started towards our base camp, it was really a wow moment that we could get this beautiful panorama. Again, this is that Chun Nangma Nala, and right side you can see another stream that is called Tibulchen Takpo. It is coming from that glacier, and this peak is Rockwedge Peak. And this valley, or this stream, this is actually a gateway to go to many other expeditions. That is the Island Peak, which is around 6,235 meters, then Amitabha, and there are 3 peaks, Oudsal, Massive, 1, 2, 3. All these peaks actually fall into Tarakangri Glacier, which is behind this. but those peaks are best approached from this valley. Then we established our base camp at around 4,800 meter altitude at this place. Actually, this was not our supposed to be the base camp site. We wanted to move ahead, but there was a huge landslide, and in last 3 years there was no expedition happened in this area. And that landslide changed that terrain completely, and our horsemen just said that we can't go further, and we were forced to establish the base camp at this point. And then we just carried our loads to advanced base camp with the help of porters. So as we done for on every expedition, we performed puja at base camp. Till that time, the weather was quite okay, meaning bright sunlight, and then after 2 o'clock, and then there is a Himalayan weather of bad weather. This is our team with our climbing friends. This is Karma, then this is Samgyal, very senior, experienced mountaineer, Pasang or Paste, and our cook Santabir. Then this was our second target, Black Pyramid, and this is the place somewhere. This is a Shukpa Kangjang glacier. We wanted to establish camp near to the southeast part of this Shukpa Kangjang glacier. We could see another beautiful peaks from our base camp. This peak is called Amitabha. In 2014, Canadian expedition, Graham did the solo first ascent of this peak, and there are 2 unclimbed peaks here. This is the south summit of this unnamed and unclimbed peak, and there is a peak behind. Both these peaks can be approached through Taraganli glacier, although those are seen from the hot spring and the base camp side area. So when you face Romuro Valley from our base camp and to our right side, there you can see this stream coming, and this is called Tiburchan Takpo, and these are the peaks in that glacier. This peak I couldn't identify actually, but probably as per maps behind this peak there is Koyak Glacier in 2005. Probably Himalayan Club did that expedition with Koyak Glacier. These are the some close-ups of those peaks, and on the base camp we were always thinking that probably next destination to go for the expedition could be this area, but unfortunately nothing is planned so far. So we moved to, we started moving towards advanced base camp. There was no definite path. The entire route was through Muren. This is a southeast Shukpa Kangjang glacier. This is Black Pyramid. We wanted to establish camp as close to this glacier. En route, we could see some beautiful peaks. This peak is Kyuan Kangri, or in local language it is called Garuda, 6170 meter. This was climbed by 2013 Indian Air Force expedition. Then, as you see on the right side while walking towards advanced base camp, you can see this beautiful landscape. This area is called Canadian Sir. Joe Segram in 2012 actually explored this area. The peak at the center is called Baldan Lamo or Romuro 3, and this is Chamba or Future Buddha Romuro 2, and you can see the face, north face of this unclimbed Romuro 4 peak. Then this is another beautiful peak, triangular pyramid peak, which can be seen, that is called Das Gazri Peak, 6160 meter. First ascent was by Joe Segram team in 2012, and then Mr. Sachindran team, Indian Air Force team in 2013. Then we reached advanced base camp. Again, advanced base camp was very beautiful grassy ground and with a magnificent panorama. You can see this Romuro 4, 6190 meter. This Charap Kangri peak, again climbed by Indian Air Force team. And this is the north face. This north face is not yet climbed. You can see this avalanche prone also. Then this peak is called 6064. There is no name given to that peak. Keith Goffin in 2018 actually came here to climb this peak, but there was a continuous rockfall in this region, so he decided to shift his focus to Black Pyramid and did first ascent of that. Next day morning, we were welcomed by snow, and then followed by bad weather day. One day we lost there, and subsequent day we started for our advance. You can see some tents here. This is our advanced base camp, and we climbed through this moraine. Came here. You can see this tail of this southeast Chukpa Kangjang Glacier. If you look behind, there is a beautiful peak called Sai Lamo or Earth Goddess. It is just short of 6,000 meters. Again, climbed by Indian Air Force team. So this is our crampon points where we changed our shoes and started moving towards glaciers and then towards Saktokpa Col. And you can see one more peak here along with Sai Lamo. That peak is called Langpoche. Again, just short of 6,000 meters. Then we started moving towards Saktokpa Col, look behind, and then we get this beautiful panorama over here. This is Sai Lamo Ridge, this is Langpoche, this is Gaj Gazri, this is Kyuang Kangri, and this is Chus Keras Kangri. And these two peaks I couldn't locate or I couldn't identify it exactly. Those are quite far away in Chukpa Kangjang Glacier. Probably these peaks are 6420 meters or 6450 meters. There are no names. That is what, as per maps, I can guess, but I'm not very sure. Then we started moving to Saktokpa Col. It was a long climb. We kept on walking for some time, and both sides of that climb, we can see beautiful peaks. This is that Saktokpa Col. We wanted to cross this Saktokpa Col and then establish our summit camp for our first target of Mount Tara or Saktokpa Kangri. But you cannot see that peak unless until you cross this. This was a never-ending climb. After almost 7 hours, we reached this Saktokpa Col, and the peak which is seen behind is called Napo Kangri or Romdo 1. This peak is again climbed. This is 6310 meter peak, and this, of course, this north face is avalanche prone, that is not yet climbed. So we established our summit camp here. This is the peak, Mount Tara or Saktokpa Kangri, and the weather turned bad. Again on the summit camp we lost one day, complete day, due to the bad weather and whiteout. Here our team member Bhavna developed severe headache, and then Sudeep and Bhavna decided to return back to advanced base camp. Then from my team I was left alone, but of course I had a trusted climbing partners with me, Samgal and Pasang. So although I was alone from the team, we decided to continue our summit push. Next day morning at 4 o'clock we started for our summit attempt. There were clouds, but we thought that the clouds will go and we'll get a better weather. So we continued. This is the Tara peak, and we wanted to hit this ridge and climb the final ridge of Tara. These are some of the peaks during en route, like on the ridge. When we reached that ridge and finally started for the summit push, the weather was turning hostile, and this is the area that Sai Lamo and other thing. Sai Lamo and Langpoche area. This is not actually true summit. True summit is behind. Within for 2-3 minutes we were blessed with sunlight, and we could get this better panorama or better picture. And then this is the final summit reach. these were the happy moments when we reached the summit. We took some Garmin readings to note the coordinates and the altitude. We couldn't stay at summit because you have seen the weather, how it was. So we were hardly there for around 10 to 15 minutes, and then we started rappelling down. Rappelling down was also the nightmare because there was no visibility, and three areas where we had to fix the rope to come to a reasonable slope where we can traverse to the where we can start our traverse to the reach. So once we come down, still the ride on continued.
Still right out is down, but the situation is little bit improved. You can see some in the complete fallout.
This is Sai Lama area, and you can see Saptapa all over here. I'll skip this video because I've got a message that we are running short of time. I reached there at around 12:30 in the afternoon, and then I was tired, so myself and Sangal, we stayed back at this camp. Next day morning again we were blessed with the clear sunlight. We wished we could have got this type of weather on the earlier day, but it always happens on the expeditions. So this is a Black Pyramid place, our next target. We earlier decided to approach summit from this ridge, but then later on decided that we will shift our camp from the Saptapa cone somewhere near, somewhere down, and then approach by this route. So this is the Napo Kangri, which I already told you, but in the clear weather. Then myself and Sangal, we shifted that summit camp from Saptapa cone to 1.5 hours of descent, and then in this Supa Sanjal Joshe, we put the camp. This is the 360-degree view. This is the Black Pyramid. This is not the actual true summit. The true summit is behind. This is the Saptapa cone from where we came. And you can see this roadway area. And this is a Napo Kangri. So immediately after pitching the tents, we went next day. The wind was too much. The next day we fixed the road. Other team members are joining me from the advanced base camp, so we had a nice reunion, and then myself, Sudhir, Sangal and Pasang next day pushed for the summit for Black Pyramid. So this is a Black Pyramid photo. The summit is somewhere behind this. You can see the gradient. We have to climb this, and we have to fix rope continuously. So we started early in the morning. We kept on climbing and fixing the rope and doing the zoomering for almost 3 hours. And then we reached an altitude of 6,000 meters. I was quite tired, and then decided that I cannot go further. So considering other safety conditions and the terrain, it was a completely loose rocks, loose snow, and somewhere ice. So we decided to abandon our climb at 6,000 meters. That was very tough decision for us, but considering safety, we had to take that decision. And mountains will be there; we can always go back. That is the thought process behind that. And then we decided. You can see the gradient from this Sudeep's video also while rattling down. The summit camp was here. You can see the 2 tents there. The weather started turning bad again, and this is one clip which while on the descent you can see the Saptapa cone here and the summit camp here. So that was the end of our expedition. This final, you can see the loose rocks and the boulders and snow formation. And we celebrated at Advanced Base Camp at night by cake cutting our success of the expedition. This is our complete group on the Advanced Base Camp. And Yes, last there is a number of opportunities in this Romuru Valley. There are around 17 peaks which are already climbed in the Romuru Valley and surrounding area, and equal number of peaks still added mountainous to reach that summit. So you can try, go there, have treks and do whatever you want to do climbing. Of course, with permission of Indian Mountaineering Foundation only you can do that, and I'm thankful to IMF for giving us the permission. Thank you very much.